there. Thanks for being here. I am Cait Sarazin. I'm a trauma-informed somatic coach, and I'm here to answer the question, how do we come out of survival mode from childhood trauma? And this is a big question, and I think the best place to really start is maybe understanding why would we still be in survival mode now as adults? And that's because our bodies are super intelligent. They don't do things randomly. There's always an intelligence behind why our bodies make the decisions they do. And so if you're still in that state of survival mode now, it means that your body still thinks that's necessary. And that can be because there isn't enough safety in this moment now to kind of pause and make a different choice, and there isn't a better option. So our brains don't really care about if we're thriving and happy. They're worried about surviving. And they also don't really care which mode you do that. Like if it's fight, flight, or freeze, they don't have a preference. They just go, our brains go to the one that makes the most sense in the moment. And as you choose that one, we'll say to dissociate or to go into a freeze, more and more often it becomes a well-worn groove, and it becomes also something that's generalized. So if you were attacked as a kid, it may start to generalize to any time that you're touched, it feels like that attack is happening again. And that's a brilliant way that our bodies try to make us survive. Our brains try to make us survive, and it doesn't really lead to a full life. So in order to really come out of that, it means coming back into the here and now and starting to develop a sense of safety within our bodies. And we do this by retraining our nervous system to pendulate between something good and something bad. Something good and something bad. Expansion, contraction. And quite often, when something really traumatic, when we get stuck in a survival mode, whether that's like a hypervigilant, superactivation, or a dissociation, we're kind of stuck on in that activation or stuck on off in that dissociation. So we're not pendulating between the two. Something good, something bad. And that's what a healthy nervous system is. It isn't happy and good all the time. It isn't always in this perfect place. If you think about like a 2 p.m. slump, you kind of come down a little bit. You exercise, you come back up. That's the natural rhythm of our bodies, which matches the rhythm of the earth. And so we want to restore that sense of pendulation. And we do that by slowly digesting little bits of the traumatic event, just enough for us to digest it. It's kind of like having a platter of food in front of you. If you eat it all at once, you might throw it up. Your body doesn't have enough capacity in your stomach to handle it. But if you just take a little bit, digest it, you're able to move through it. Your stomach gets bigger, and you're able to do more. And so that's really the process of starting to move into a space where there's more safety. And we do this really slowly because safety can feel inherently really dangerous if you've never felt it before. It's unfamiliar. We don't trust it. And so we have to do it in little pieces and really convince our system that this is a better way, that this feels better. And we do that really slowly. And over time, as we do that process of pendulating something good and something bad, there's enough safety that we can kind of stop the tunnel vision of survival mode. Like, you can't look at anything else. You're tunneled in, you can't see other options, you can't see things around you. It's very focused on surviving, and it becomes kind of an echo chamber where you can't see loved ones, you just can't see anything else. And it can be very frustrating because you repeat the same pattern over and over again. Our bodies are intelligent and it's trying to resolve it. However, we're not able to make different choices if we don't have enough capacity to pause, to respond versus react. And so over time, as we build more capacity in our systems to do that, we're able to pause just a little bit more and maybe see if there's another option. See if something could have happened differently. So sometimes trauma happens because something happened too fast or too slow, or there wasn't enough, or there was too much of something. And seeing, like, oh, when I got attacked by that dog, it wasn't that, like, all dogs are bad and scary. This was just a really terrible experience where this dog attacked me. And once we link that back together, of realizing what happened, we were stuck, and figuring out what needed to happen at the time. So, say we were stuck behind a fence and we couldn't fend off this dog, we actually wanted to like run or punch this dog. When our system has enough capacity and safety to be able to access that self protective response of wanting to push, run away from the dog, and we're able to allow ourselves in the now to do that, it restores that energy that was trapped in our bodies. That's what's really keeping us in that survival mode. And it also rewires our neural pathways to then make a new meaning of the experience. Like I mentioned, like, not all dogs are bad, fences aren't scary. There was just this one experience that I had that was terrible. I couldn't get away. And now I have felt in my system what it's like to get away. And then that restores our ability to make new choices. And this isn't really something we can do on our own. We're built to co-regulate with another person. When we're a baby, we don't have the ability to self-soothe. We're the little kangaroos. We need another person. And that's the same way as adults when our systems get really dysregulated. We need another body to learn that pendulation process of going into something good and then something bad, and to restore that to be able to self-regulate. And so it's really necessary to work with a practitioner, to work through childhood trauma in that way. And this can be done in a lot of different ways. Somatic work is a really beautiful option. There are also other trauma modalities like IFS, like EMDR, that are very effective in also restoring that. And quite often it's a combination of a lot of different modalities that ultimately gets you to that place of being into a thriving mode out of the survival mode. So if you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe. And I am seeing one-to-one clients if you're interested in exploring what it could be like to work through childhood trauma with me and come into a full life and out of survival mode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.